The FBI is now investigating the mysterious death of an 18-year-old aboard a Carnival cruise ship. Anna Kepner's family, who was with her on that cruise, is still in the dark about what exactly happened. Her father telling the Daily Mail, quote, "The FBI hasn't shared anything with me yet. I have no idea what is going on right now. We are just trying to sit still and wait for answers." Miami-based cruise ship injury attorney Louis Vucci joins me now. Louis, thank you for joining us. Very few details about this case have been given, which is part of the problem this grieving family is facing right now. But given your level of expertise, what details stand out to you and what do you think happened here?
I wouldn't want to exactly speculate as to what happened. I would tell you that the Miami-Dade coroner's office, to my understanding, has found a specific time of death. And so that would lead me to believe that they have some inclination as to specifically what happened or how this might have occurred, given the fact that they have a death. I believe they gave a time of 11:17 a.m. On the date of her passing. So I would believe that there is some inclination as to what happened, and the FBI's doing an active investigation at this time.
Yeah, you're right. So the Miami-Dade County Medical Examiner lists Anna's time of death as 11:17 a.m., which I do think is notable because usually your mind goes to it taking place sometime in the middle of the night. And also she had social media posts speaking of a breakup. Why do you think the FBI hasn't spoken to this family yet about what took place? And how does this family navigate this situation, not having any answers after their beloved daughter died?
Sure. I believe that initially in these cases, what would happen is the cruise line would be the organization that would do the initial investigation. So in any criminal activity on a cruise ship, the cruise line, they have security, they have cameras, they would preserve the scene, and they would actively investigate it immediately. And then, given the situation, such a serious situation on the cruise ship, with the passing of this poor girl, then they would turn that over to the FBI, and the FBI and the cruise line, in collaboration, would then do an active investigation. And since it's an active investigation, it would lead me to believe, and again, I don't want to speculate because I do not know, but if they're not turning over information to the family that they suspect, or at least at this time, there's a potential of foul play. And if that's the case, they're not going to give active information to the family because they're investigating, they're trying to retrace her steps. I'm sure they're looking at, again, her cameras, who she was with at the time, et cetera. In terms of the family gathering information or what could they do to find out, I would suggest that they either get a spokesperson or a lawyer who could act as an interface with the Coast Guard, the FBI, and the cruise lines to try to find out. As well, I know Senator Rick Scott from Florida has a great office, and he's very active, so they could contact
They could go through
his
the
office.
lawmakers. Yeah, that's a
Exactly.
good point. It's just so sad because, you know, you go on a cruise with your family, the parents think you're going to be safe because she was in their care at the time, but that didn't happen in this case. Carnival says they're fully cooperating with this investigation. One final question to you, because 19 million Americans are expected to go on cruises this year. Generally, how safe is it to take a cruise?
I would tell you that it's generally safe. The issue with cruising is like anything else or any other vacation destination. Things do happen, accidents happen, and crimes happen on these ships. I don't believe that it's any more prevalent than any other vacation. I think the issue with cruising tends to be alcohol consumption because you're on a boat and people are enjoying their vacation. But again, it's a confined space, and there is generally a lot of alcohol consumption. So that tends to lead at times to some criminal activity.
Right. Well, she was a gymnast, a cheerleader. She was a straight A student, and she just finished her test to join the military because her family says that she wanted to help out with her community. So just an immense loss for this family, and our hearts go out for them. Louis, thank you for joining us this morning with your expertise.
No, thank you, and my
condolences
condolences as well.
Absolutely.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.